in our community.
And now we're sharing the stories, concerns, and ideas of housing providers here in the Metro. I examined if the very group often viewed as the problem could be presenting some of the most viable solutions. You can see the weight of James' journey in his walk.
I consider this my place of residence right now because this is the only place I have.
He's one of thousands of houseless people across the Metro. For more than a month, he's had a housing voucher, but no place to use it.
So we see people every day that have had vouchers for months.
We just need some help. Just give us a hand.
Sergo Ventures tracks the amount of overdue rent across the country. In Jackson County, Missouri, it calculated 15% of renters are in default, with more than $55 million due. That's an average of over $3,000 a household.
Right now, it is a tremendous problem. We have this perfect storm.
Brent Never is a public affairs professor at UMKC, who's tracking this issue.
There's a lot of money out there, $25 billion in rental assistance. We've only moved out about $3 billion of that. It's about how we push it out to the families who need it.
A local group called the Kansas City Regional Housing Alliance put together some policy ideas.
What COVID has done is exposed how fragile the marketplace is.
People like Jennifer Justice feel left in limbo.
When I was 8 years old, I remember digging up sewer lines and pouring concrete and mowing grass for different properties.
Now she's a realtor and one of several housing providers in the Metro who hope to be part of the solution.
We have to have that compromise, and we have to have the housing providers at the table.
Park Shaw pushed back on that statement.
In my view, they do have a seat at the table.
The Alliance wants the city to use a portion of its rental assistance money as security for potential tenants who are impacted by the pandemic.
You'd have the ability to rent to those people who you wouldn't ordinarily consider as by way of their credentials.
From the research that I've done, there has been some success in other municipalities with this program. Of course, we need to have the funding to do that.
Never added one point of caution.
From my read of the proposals, they could get that money right off. The owners, they could satisfy any past debts and then immediately, end the lease. And so
no protection there.
No protection.
Kansas City approved $12.5 million for the Housing Trust Fund, with another $12.5 million set to come in the near future. But there's a large divide on how to spend that money. People close to the need say,
just to create more affordable housing. That's a big solution right there.
The city defines affordable housing as no more than 30% of the median household income. By that standard, affordable rent in Kansas City would be more than $1,350 a month. Local housing providers say the answer goes beyond building more.
It's a matter of effectively and efficiently using existing housing stock as opposed to finding ways to find a magic bullet that somehow that you're going to build thousands of new units and you're going to have affordable housing. The economics of it don't work today.
And we can have private-public partnerships for the Housing Trust Fund. We can have a better working relationship with the city. There's lots of options out there that aren't being pursued.
Never believes whether it's reimbursements for housing vouchers, rental assistance, policy ideas from providers, or the construction of new homes. It all starts with the people who live in them.
Empower tenants to be able to do what they want to do, which is pay their rent, stay in their home, keep their families stable, and also to provide these protections for property owners such that they can keep the rents low enough so that they're affordable for families, because ultimately that's what we all want.
City Manager Brian Platt is charged with creating an advisory board for the Housing Trust Fund by February of 2022. $4.1 million of that initial deposit has already been allocated to developers for 2 housing projects. Councilwoman Park Shaw says the proposals put forward by the Regional Housing Alliance have been taken into consideration. James, by the way, who we started this story with, still has his voucher and is still waiting to get housing.